Alright, and the last finishing touch should be just to put the valve for this last iron tank right here, yes. And then we'll just connect the liquiducts to this pipe, and she's complete. There we go. Oh, right, hey guys, this is Fwip. On today's episode of Feed the Beast Unleashed, you just caught me finishing off the last pieces of a very interesting Fwippian invention that I've put together for you guys. Cleaning up a little bit here. Oh yeah, that iron tank is beautiful. Alright, let's have a look at it. Okay, from this side, you can only tell that I've got 3 aqueous accumulators. However, the better way to say that is, let me know. Attached to these 5 combustion engines and a massive energy line running right through it. Well, I'm gonna show you guys what this looks like from the other side, and then maybe you'll get an idea of what I've built. I'll tell you right now, it definitely ties into the thing that we saw last episode, and if you weren't following along, I'm gonna tell you anyway. Here it is, what I like to call the Fwippian perpetual oil machine. This thing generates oil from nothing. From that glitch that we saw last time. But anyway, from this side, I'll show you the last things that I've been putting together here. Okay, so this section of it is very simple. We have the oil coming out of here. Thanks to this red net cable, I can easily turn this on or off. All the oil goes into 5 refineries. The 5 refineries are being both powered by the rest of the base on this line, since when I began I didn't have any power, and by the combustion engines, which now have been able to be filled a little bit with fuel, because the refineries are pumping directly into the 5 combustion engines, as well as that last liquiduct line you just saw, which snakes around the base a little bit, and goes into the iron tank right here. Now obviously there's nothing in here because I've just finished the tank off, and this will be where the excess oil goes. Well, not oil, but fuel, because I've always liked the idea of using tesseracts to move fuel around. Right? Combustion engines, they just need a lot of water, and they're good to go. So this is actually a perpetual energy machine for my base. I'm going to try and explain how I've built this. Now obviously you can see it's sitting on a massive iron tank as well. And I'm just going to climb up these iron scaffolds to kind of give you an idea of what's going on. Alright, so to build this thing, I took a tool dynamism tablet from Thomic Tinkerer. I put a bucket of oil in it, told it to do right click and redstone right now, because if I didn't do redstone right now, well, you'd see. Anyway, you put a block above that and make sure there's an empty space on whatever side that little dot is facing, because that's whatever side when you place it, the action is going to be performed on, right? That means that this bucket is going to place a source block of oil right here. Directly above that I have a Buildcraft pump, and this is important. There's only 2 types of pumps, if I try to search in Unleashed, that we could use. Limitations, of course, being that the Industrial Craft one will put things into cells, which means it's really only good lava or water, and the Buildcraft pump, which is very similar. I'll explain that in a moment. But this, it works with oil as well. Got 3 of these engines running constantly with a switch on top. All it does is it puts the liquid directly into the tank below. Now there needs to be some layers between this and the dynamism tablet, or the bucket will act with the tank, just putting liquid in and out, and that's not what we want. So to demonstrate, I turn off the redstone requirement. The bucket of oil is going to continue to place source blocks directly under the pump. As you'll notice, the bucket's not empty, but clearly oil is going into the tank. In fact, so much oil is going to the tank that, well, that's why I decided to put a tank here, because I expected this would... I could leave this on forever. I don't mind. All it would do is fill the tank until I simply don't need any more oil. Fantastic, isn't it? It's a horrible glitch fest, I suppose, simply because the dynamism tablet bucket will never unfill. That is the glitch that I'm using here to have infinite oil. Now you're probably thinking, as my friend Hannibal did, hey, couldn't you do this with other liquids? Yeah, I could. The only problem is the Buildcraft tank only recognizes things like water, lava, oil, and I already have a lava world in the Mistcraft age, so there's no point in having a second infinite lava generator. But take as that as you will. You guys who don't have a lava world, feel free to do that. Anyway, what I'm going to do right now is just finish off what I want this to look like. I've always enjoyed building new crazy machines in Feed the Beast. But I also like being able to display them. They are as much of a very, very interesting project as they are a really nice thing to look at, I think. So what I'm going to do here, since this is all completed, is just fill this entire little box in with warded glass, and that'll be great. Here, I'll show you also. I'll turn on this exiting pump, and it fills up the refineries perfectly, right? I'll just turn that off right now just for the purposes of letting this tank fill a little better. Now, to let the combustion engines go, you're probably thinking, where in the world did you put the lever for that? Well, let's see here. The lever for the lava engines down below is right here, right? I hid the lever for the combustion engines in this little alcove right here next to the bookshelf. We're going to let those go, and you will see over here that the power, you know, it doesn't, unlike industrial craft power, I believe Minecraft Joules can travel long distances without losing any power, I think. That's a good question, actually. I've never actually run into power limitations from, you know, that sort of thing, but I could use redstone energy cells if I needed to. You'll note that all 5 of them are going simultaneously and are being filled by oil as the refineries turn it into oil. Right? The question, I suppose, is, does it generate enough fuel for the engines to go forever? And if not, maybe I shouldn't... Well, I guess this would be okay to ward in. I would just have to expand downwards somehow with more engines and more refineries, which would make this project a heck of a lot larger than it could have been. But regardless of that, oh no. I think I misplaced a single piece of warded glass on top. Funny enough, warded glass is an extremely awesome material. You can see through it really easily. You can tell it's nice and magical. It doesn't explode. Other people can't remove it. But you do need to just poke it with a wand to get rid of it. There we are. Alrighty, so yeah, I'm just letting this thing go at it. As you'll see here, it doesn't look like the tank is full, right? But you can clearly see it's slowly filling. I just made this tank so large that it's happening. Now the other question would be, is the fuel tank filling up? And yes, especially slower than the other one, obviously. Because whatever this tank picks up is just whatever excess there is that the fuel engines don't need. But, technically speaking, if the oil is going all the time, if the engines are going all the time, if that is the purpose of filling up this fuel gauge, then technically I'm good. This entire system will just kind of run. There's no need to worry about it. And, just for the sake of argument, let's make some extra warded glass. I really like this material. It pleases me a whole bunch. I know it's not even that expensive once you get a ton of zombie brains and maybe find some extra thromium in a dungeon or something. There's no concern. It's so simple. Yeah, so again, guys, I would name this machine the Fwippian PerpetuOil generator, because this thing provides infinity power to my entire base. And you know what? It's stylish. Look at this. I've got some tiger wood. Right, tiger wood. That's why. It looks nice and electrical underneath, kind of like those... You ever played Pokemon, guys? It's going to be a weird reference if you haven't, but you ever walk into like the scientist areas and there's all those... I think they're supposed to look like electricity cables on the ground. Oh, those are getting green. Combustion engines, when they don't have enough water, tend to blow up. I don't want these blowing up. That would destroy a significant amount of resources. However, with 3 aqueous accumulators, these should just end up filling with water, and then all the time they're not going to run out of water, and therefore They'll be okay. The difference is, depending on the level of speed that the engines are at, it'll use up more and more water. So once these hit red tier, which is the highest, it'll make the most amount of energy that's possible, as well as, well, making the most fuel. Take the most water, therefore it'll be more dangerous. I'm just double, hindsight checking myself, thinking, is 3 aqueous accumulators enough for 5 engines? You can see the power isn't even enough to fully power all of the refineries right now, so that means whatever access is happening is going to power the rest of my base, which is fine. But, yeah, if you guys want to build yourselves a ridiculous oiled machine, this is how you do it. It's a little cheaty, let's be honest. It's the Thomic Tinkerer Tool Dynamism tablet. The bucket inside doesn't understand to be empty when it's used. I'm sure that was not an intended feature, therefore, it's a glitch, I suppose. But, you know what? All this really is doing is saving me a lot of time from other methods of getting perpetual fuel. We saw that last season on Cryptocraft when I went crazy with bees, made fuel-generating bees, and then I had infinite fuel. So, this is kind of a crazy system, and I know the Squatch is going to hate me for making this because, A, he's built an amazing tree farm and a torrent of biofuel to make sure his engines run all the time, and all I did was hook up a couple of tanks, a pump, and a really bad idea. But technically speaking, with all this extra power, I think I'm allowed to turn on the output of this redstone energy cell and add in this pipe here. That way we will have our AE system charged. I will be able to put more AE systems all over the base, right? And our B machines will just be what they kind of are intended to be, I think, which is a massive power sink. Of course, the only way to make sure this works is if this redstone energy cell doesn't start going down. Now, let's put it to 5 MJs per tick. Will that keep everything powered? Looks like yes. And it's still draining a lot. Well, that's because this is using 12 energy units per tick. Yeah, okay, maybe I don't have enough power, per se. But I do have infinite power. Don't I? Oh my goodness, I love this, guys. Anyways, what should I move on to next? I know this is a short episode if I end it here, so we're not going to do that. I just wanted to showcase this perfectly crazy machine. All you need is 1 bucket of oil and she's good to go. A little worried about exploding still, but I digress. Let's move on to doing something else. In fact, I don't even know if I shouldn't, right now, move on to expanding it some more. Because I drew up the plans for it, and I was like, man, there's a lot of stuff going on here. Like, thankfully, because engines need a wooden pipe, the liquid ducts aren't going to connect with them too early. But still, the material cost for 5 refineries and 5 combustion engines is significant. Not gonna lie. I expanded... I mean, it's so compact, technically. You know, to quote Seth Bling, I guess this is tileable. I'll think about tiling it later. That'll take too much time on screen. Oh, I know. It's silly to be able to put that much work into something and then be like, I'm not going to show it to you guys. But let's be honest here. That took ages. That took ages to do. Speaking of ages to do. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not playing with Mistcraft right now. No, I'm doing bees. Yeah. And after realizing the bees that I needed, let's go check again on our mutation schemes. Because to get further in bees... Yeah, I'm getting... There we go. Majestic. I'm trying to make this majestic line right here start stacking so I can just generate infinite majestic drones, so it'll be easier to just mix them with things. That's the one thing that if I could have done it differently from bees last time, and obviously I have the time to do it differently now, I would have done, which is making all my special bees pure and then just generating a ton of drones of every single variety. Because I'm going to need royal jelly. That's why I'm such a stickler on putting pure bees with other bees right now. Just gives you better chances. There we go. These unweary and diligent ones aren't producing any more industrious bees. I was hoping... Yeah, okay. I know right now I should probably figure out what the best pairing is, but who's got time for that? Maybe just mixing them together until they produce perfect offspring is what I need more. Oh. I think I messed up this cultivated drone. It used to be one that could stack. I think maybe that means I paired it with the wrong thing. That just means I need to analyze all my bees, which is good. It's a reason for having a ton of combs. But, you know, it's taken ages to get these things to work. Slower worker, shorten life. Slower worker, shorten life. These are pretty much the same bee. Short life, there we go. Little bit of traits getting weeded out every so often. And just in case I'm putting in the bee house so they don't mutate ever. Although, honestly, now that I found a few Oblivion frames from dungeons, that would make the bee breeding process and elimination of traits even faster. Because I don't care about these products. I just want to kill these things. A little cruel, but necessary. Alright, let's see here. So many tropical drones, so many noble drones. Noble, diligent, tropical. Now that these bees are automated and are producing combs here, like crazy, and now that I have infinite fuel, basically what's going on here is I've got plenty of bees for honey production. In fact, the tank upstairs is full. Crazy. I haven't even gotten royal jelly yet, though. I need that to build the alveary blocks. I need that to build a lot of things. Secretly. Okay, maybe not that much. But it is a necessity. Okay. So, let's see here. Slower worker, shorter life. Now, this cultivated princess is different than both of the drones. That's not good. Oh well, let's go shove it into this chest over here that I'm using for the bees that are quite good that I'm going to use later. I don't need majestic noble hybrids when I'm making pure majestic drones now, finally. Let's just put these back in this indexer. I could crunch them up into bee juice DNA if I needed to. Which I will need to later, but again, guess what, guys? I specifically need the royal jelly to make the syringes and things that I can use for the rest of the bee products, right? The genome collection and everything else. It all revolves around the royal queen. Imperial drone, I think it's called. Guess what? I haven't found it yet. It's not in my data bank. I did find industrious. But I'm pretty sure it would be noble plus majestic. And that's the thing. I was just waiting until I had enough noble drones so that I have a stockpile if ever I should need them again. So, pure noble drones, that is. I mean, having noble hybrids really will mess up your breeding process because it'll become imprecise. You there, noble queen. I know, you got a nice bee. That's okay. Don't need you. Just shove the queen in here at the Oblivion frame in a tick or two. That'll be dead. And I can harvest the queen. I mean the princess. Put it with the majestic drone. And hopefully, beyond hope, I'll be able to get what I need. That already... Oh no. This is the isolator. I don't even have the things for this block yet. Oh, that's right. I put my genome crusher in the wall like that. Okay. This unwary drone is still industrious. Oh, that's okay. But of course, unuseful to me. Yeah, everything else here is just like crunching material. Always better to analyze all the bees that you're going to crush into DNA. You get double DNA for it, and certainly automating it like this is the next step. Alright, now what you're going to witness here is the last, well, not the last, but my hope beyond hope that I'm going to get it. Majestic drone. Now, I don't have access to better mutation abilities right now than the soul frames in regular apiaries, I believe. Which is a shame, because you've seen there, I've mixed Unweary and Diligent a lot, and I haven't yet gotten... Oops, what broke that? Don't even know. I've not yet gotten the Industrious Queen. Which is surely a goal I'm going for. Oh, yes! That's great. The Majestic Princess is now stacking with Majestic Drones. Okay. That's getting replaced in this apiary. And this noble one can now be mixed with this, the Majestic Drone. I know it's raining now, so it's not going to work. Yet. But that's okay. These should give me the royal one, hopefully, or a small chance to get it. I know, I hate hybrids. Hybrids mean it's imprecise. Really. I think. Now, I've got a different understanding than bees than last time, but I'm pretty sure it has to do with pure drones mixing with pure princesses gives you a better chance than hybrids. I think. Bee breeding takes a long time. It's an aspect of Feed the Bees that's different, and it's definitely not for everybody. Let's just double check how much fuel we've gotten from this fuel tank so far. Okay, we started out with 800. Now we've got 14,000. The engines are still in the green, which is good. Maybe they only get in the red when they run out of water, which would be a nice visual tell for me because it's been long enough. The oil is flowing freely. Oh, this is great. Oh, this is great. Ah, my God. I don't know if you guys feel the same kind of pride in machines that I do once I've actually created something that is not only perfect and functional, but I'll be able to show off later. Like, this is crazy. Like, it generates oil, it turns the oil into it right here, and bam, the result of it is obvious. Like, this tank of fuel right here. This is the reason this is a wonderful machine. I'll be able to use a liquid tesseract underneath my base, because, you might not have noticed, but as soon as I put that iron tank in, I realized I was inside the bottom of our house. Which, of course, was our first house before I built the house. Point is, it's going to be really, really easy to just go down here, look up into the tank, and be like, oh, yeah, we got enough fuel. I'll just hook up a tesseract, and then use that power somewhere else. Oh, my goodness. It's going to be fantastic. I'm so happy about this, guys. Other things I want to do right now include fighting a boss, but I don't want to not have Hannibal for that, so hopefully I'll be joined by him in the next episode to play that kind of a game. I'm going to keep thinking about other machines that I can build, guys. Specifically ones with a fantastic function. This is pretty boss, though. I mean, here's our house, and it's just going to keep expanding outward from the, our machines. Look at this. I don't know if I need all 3 redstone engines going at once, but I'm pretty sure the more power the pump has, the more it's going to look for source blocks. I'm surprised the pump isn't confused yet, because, well, there's only ever a source block on top of the pump. Did I mention yet that you can't use the Buildcraft pump to, like, pick up source blocks of things like milk or mob essence or, as Hannibal would have liked, liquid diamond or liquid manilium? The issue is the Buildcraft pump understands Buildcraft liquids. It doesn't understand those added by Mine Factory and probably not Tinker's Construct. In fact, I'm not even sure if you can pull the liquid manilium back out of the smeltery. But that's why I'm going with oil, because I can't go with anything else. I mean, you could do it manually, honestly. You could stand there with a bucket, but the purpose of that was to automate it for infinite power, right? If you wanted to stand around with buckets and get infinite mob essence, it would take forever. And if you could find a way to do it with liquid manilium, I suppose... Yeah, you could get infinite manilium? Maybe? But again, I'm not sure how Tinker's construct really treats its liquids. And the Buildcraft pump totally wouldn't understand it. If it can't understand milk, because that was added into the world by Mind Factory Reloaded, then it's not going to understand something by Tinker's construct. Let's just be honest here. That's my assumption. Feel free to test out this machine. Feel free to build it on your own, guys. I would like you to mention that you heard it from Fwip, or at least that this design was made by me. It's compact, it's nice, and it's going to be infinite. I'm going to leave this on. I'm just going to leave this on. If I come back next episode and the whole thing is a crater, then we know that I really manage combustion engines badly. But this kind of thing didn't... Well, okay, it did blow up last time. But that's only because instead of using aqueous accumulators, I tried to use things from Zycraft tanks and Zycraft water, and I calculated the water use wrong, and it ran out and blew up in my base. This time, though, should be fine. I mean, I look at the Liquidex through these glasses, and, I mean, they're not out of water ever. Aqueous accumulators, they're nice. They use the same water blocks as each other, so 3 by each other is great. Oh, I'm so proud of this machine, guys. I think I actually need to end the episode here. Thanks for watching. I'm just going to go on about this forever. And, you know, please, if you make any interesting machines on Feed the Beast like this, you know what I mean? Like, you make a personal machine based on different things and then have it look really cool, please link it to me. I'm really interested in what other people are doing. I have a lot of fun doing it, and I hope you have a lot of fun listening to how proud I am of this beastie of a thing. A little big because of the iron tank use, but I've got my own oil refinery in my freaking backyard. So thanks for watching, guys. This is Fwip saying, have fun. I don't know. And oil is awesome. Except in real life. See you next time.